Wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up.
Good morning. Good morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Morning, Barbados. Good morning.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
Morning to you.
Indeed, good morning to you one and all. Welcome to today. Today is Tuesday, the 28th of July 2026, and I'm Pearson Bowen, welcoming all of you everywhere. For those of you in Barbados or anywhere across this globe, so good to have you company. We're thankful that you're with us, and we encourage you while you're here, have conversation with us as we always ask of you every day, because your input into what we do is important to us. So welcome to those of you watching on our streams on Facebook, YouTube, and our website cbc.bb. It is important that you're there for us, and so we encourage you to share the show, share the love. You're part of our family now, so share the show, share the love, bring others along to be a part of what we do, and we thank you for doing so. As always, as I remind you every day, if you know of a story that has to be told by us, or someone who's so interesting you think we should feature, help us find them. And you can do so by sending us an email. That email address is on your screen. It's morninbarbados@cbc.bb. morninbarbados@cbc.bb. You send the information with us, all the information you have, as well as contact details, and we'll follow up and we'll see what we can do, because we're partners together in this. It's a terrific Tuesday morning. Here's hoping you make the most of today. I always remind you to take time to think about the time given to you, which is now, and how do you spend that time? What difference can you make with your time? There was a man who walked and bowled among us, and he made a big difference with his time here on earth. And so today, the 28th of July, would have been his 90th birthday. We're talking about the late national hero, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, and these are the hours before his final interment. And so we'll be sharing with you what to expect coming up on this morning when the Barbados Cricket Association joins us. There are a series of activities they have there. But yesterday, I, as a good Barbadian, was so proud of all of you as you took the time to brave the sun and the heat of the day to pay your respects at the Parliament buildings in Bridgetown yesterday. Long lines, and you were patient, you were courteous, you were respectful, as the Prime Minister has asked of all of us to be respectful, and in doing so you took time to look once again upon his face, and so thank you for doing that. Today there's another opportunity to see him yet again, for those of you who may not have had that opportunity, and we'll share with you what the Barbados Cricket Association is doing in that regard. Also, I'll be reminding you as the show goes what you can expect tomorrow. Remember, tickets are still available at all post offices across the island, and you can go to your nearest post office to get your Admit 1 ticket to Kensington Oval for tomorrow's Thanksgiving service. And so I encourage you, all Barbadians everywhere, get a ticket. I know all of you can't come, but for those of you who cannot come, watch us here at CBC on TV8, and for sure we will be bringing you all of the colour and the pomp and the pageantry as we bid farewell to really what is the world's greatest cricketer on Earth and on Mars. And so tomorrow is going to be quite a very important day for us as Barbadians. Today we want to look at that man and his contribution to our Caribbean lived experience as well. How did he, along with others of course, help to build regionalism? We'll take a look at that when we have our conversations on CARICOM. We'll also be reflecting for just a moment on his attainment of 50. And there was a series we had here on CBC TV at 50 Not Out. And so we want to go back into the archives to bring forward to you, because there are generations of people who did not see that series and perhaps did not hear his words about how he marked his 50th birthday. He was 89 years old when he passed. And so that's what we're looking at today. Today we're also celebrating Team Barbados outstanding swimmers who are heading off to represent us in the Goodwill swimming competition coming up very, very soon in Trinidad and Tobago. We'll meet more of the team and get a sense of how their preparation and their expectations as they prepare to participate in that activity as well in Trinidad and Tobago. So there's a lot to get to. We'll take a break here, and when we come back, we'll look at our conversations on CARICOM.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you ready ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good, your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're 8 minutes after 6 o'clock this Tuesday morning on this, the 28th day of July. And it so happened, you know, Shakespeare probably would have written about this. Who would have found a different plot? I don't know, other than Shakespeare. On the 28th today, we're preparing to say goodbye to Sir Gary. Just the day before, on the day of his birthday, on the day after what would have been his birthday celebration indeed. And so we begin our conversations on CARICOM this morning with Ambassador David Kamashong, Barbados Ambassador to CARICOM. Ambassador, good morning.
Morning, Pearson.
This is a day that's heavy in many, many different ways. You know, for as long as we've lived, he's been there. For as long as we've lived, he has been there. For as long as we've lived, he has been a legend of our time. Unforgettable, unmistakable, and certainly someone who we truly respect. And so we're preparing to say goodbye to really what was truly one of Barbados' best ever.
I remember as a primary school boy, every time you had a cricket game to play, you would say, "I is Sobers." Yes. And if you were bowling, "I is Westall." You know? But those were the only two names. You know, it was if you were batting, you were Sobers. If you were bowling, you were Wes. Yes. So it's a heavy day, but at the same time, it's a time for us to celebrate this man. And I wanted to devote this conversation to Gary because Sir Gary really played a very critical role in the construction of our Caribbean nationhood, construction of our Barbadian nationhood. And you know, we are burying tomorrow a national hero. And there's a reason why he was a national hero. It's not just that he was a brilliant cricketer. Indeed, I mean, he was the most brilliant cricketer the world has ever seen. He really brought that game to life in a way that nobody else has ever done. And so his cricket achievement is central to who he was and his contribution. But as CLR James said, it went beyond the boundary. And he, along with his mentor, Sir Frank Worrell, and we really cannot separate the two of them, because between the two of them, they carried out a mission in the Caribbean. You know, Sir Hilary Beckles wrote a book last year. His latest book is called Cricket's First Revolutionary, Frank Worrell's Political War Against Colonialism in the West Indies. And in that book, he makes the case that, look, Frank Worrell was born into a Barbados, very racist, very, very oppressive of black people. He hated it. He hated that white supremacy system. And of course, that white supremacy system was installed in cricket, where the black cricketers were basically treated as serfs. They could not aspire to the captaincy of the West Indies. And Frank Worrell took it upon himself that he was going to demolish that white supremacy system. He was going to take responsibility for taking these cricketers from all over the region and crafting them into a federal West Indian enterprise. And he was going to take that federal team and make it world champions. And that is exactly what he did. And he understood that he would not be able to complete that mission himself. And he understood that he would need to hand over the baton to someone. And he chose Sobers. He saw the talent in Sobers. He nurtured Sobers. And at 39, when he had completed most of the mission, but he still had a ways to go, he still had to take West Indies to world champions, he turned over the captaincy to Sobers. And Sobers completed the mission. So it is within that context that I would like to look at Sir Garfield today.
The times. So I want to look at also within the context of time. So Frank, at that time, recognized the racism that still existed and the bigotry that really was quite rampant at the time. Gary, born the year before 1937, in following the riots, and therefore the activism that would have been very real still at his youth. And let's talk a little bit about what shaped their character and that focus that you just spoke of, where they saw the reality and thought, I want to change what was my lived experience at the time.
Well, Frank, a bank hall boy. Gary, a Bayland boy. Both of them born into the working class. You know, Gary lost his father very, very early. So they both saw Barbados from the bottom, from, in a sense, the bottom up, you know. And Frank was 12 years Gary's senior. You know, he was born on the 1st of August, 1924. Sobers came later, the 28th of July, as you said, 1936. So, and the two of them are so similar. Frank makes his Barbados debut in 1942 at the age of 17. Gary makes his debut in 1953 at the age of 16. So, I mean, the two of them are remarkable. Frank goes on to make his West Indies debut in 1948 at the age of 23. Well, Sobers goes even better. He makes his West Indies debut in 1954 at the age of 17. You understand? 17 years old, right? This guy is playing for the West Indies. But I want to put that within, so that's 1954. What is happening around that time? Well, the idea of a West Indies Federation is in the air. They're working towards it. Finally, it comes in 1958. By then, Gary is a regular member of the West Indies team, but he's done nothing spectacular. He hasn't scored a test century yet. I mean, he's done relatively well, some 50s and so forth, and contributing with the ball. So, but then the federation comes in January 58, and in March, almost on the heels of the federation, Sobers at Sabina Park in Jamaica against the Pakistanis, he bats for 10 hours out of the blue. He bats for 10 hours. He breaks the world test record with 365 not out. You know, and so I want to pair those two things together. The attainment of the federation, because here was this long-held dream of West Indian achievement finally materializing, and on the verge of that, young Sobers at the age of 21 does this tremendous thing. So what a gift to the new federation, right? That we can break the world record. But by then, you know, Frank is carrying out his campaign. Frank's campaign is to break down that white supremacy system in West Indies cricket, to pave the way for himself becoming the first black permanent captain of the West Indies team. And Frank is nurturing Garfield, Kanai, all those young players. He sees the talent, And he knows that if he can become the leader of the team, he can mold these guys into the cricketing expression of the federation. From being Barbadian and Guyanese and Trinidadian, and he can bring them together into a true West Indies team, really for the first time. And Frank is successful. By 1960, he with the people behind him, the West Indies Cricket Board is forced to back down and to concede and to appoint Frank Worrell the captain. So Frank is now beginning to see how he can realize this mission. He takes the team to Australia in 1960. And for the first time, they play that magnificent series with the Tide Test.
Yes.
Granted, they don't win, but they come close. They end up 2-1, being just pipped by Australia. But that Test series sets the cricketing world on fire. People have never seen a cricket played like this before. And central to that tremendous West Indian achievement is one Garfield Sobers. He scored 430 runs in that series, and he takes 15 wickets, right? So from then on, Sobers' performance on the field becomes critical to the performance of the West Indies team and to the journey from 1960 in Australia to becoming world champions in 1965. So they go on from there, you know. So, but the amazing thing is, they are on the federal enterprise known as the West Indies team has now made this tremendous statement in 1960. But what is happening with the politicians?
Yes.
The politicians are letting down the cause, because as the cricketers are making that statement, Jamaica is losing confidence in the federation. In September of 1960, Jamaica has that referendum on the federation. The federation is voted down in Jamaica. Jamaica says we are pulling out. Trinidad then says 1 from 10 leaves naught. We are pulling out 2. So by 1962, the federation is dead. But while the politicians are failing, Frank and his federal enterprise, that West Indies team, is going on to demonstrate how tremendously powerful they have become, because the next series they play is between, just as the federation is failing, in 1962, as the federation is going down, they are playing India in the Caribbean. And they beat India 5-love.
Wow.
Sobers scores 424 runs and takes 23 wickets in that series. So as the politicians are losing faith in the federal enterprise, the West Indies cricket team is exhibiting excellence. In fact, they're saying, we are on the way to becoming world champions.
Right. And so the game of cricket was able to coalesce the West Indies spirit. And we'll want to continue this conversation right after this break.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
You know, in this conversation, we're looking at regionalism and nationhood all in one, and how the work of two Barbadian men, Sir Frank Worrell and the late Sir Garfield Sobers, have really empowered us as a region to coalesce around cricket as a means to showing to the rest of the world how powerful we are. And there's so many other ways in which that metaphor alone played out, even in politics. And so Ambassador David Commichon is with us as he continues the journey and telling the story of how these two men crafted for us a path out and a path up.
Yeah, I just want to complete the story very quickly. So they've beaten India. They next take on England. Frank as captain, Garfield as his main weapon. They played that series against England in 1963. They beat England 3-1 again. Sobers scored 322 runs and takes 20 wickets. So they have now defeated the number 2 team.
Mm-hmm.
It's only Australia to go now in order to become world champions. By then, however, Frank is 39 years old. Frank understands, you know, his time has come. Mm-hmm. But he knows who he has to turn over the team to. He tells CLR James, look, this man Sobers knows everything about cricket. So Frank is so powerful in West Indies cricket by that time that he can actually choose his successor. He chooses Sobers, and Frank installs himself as manager. So the partnership continues. Yes. And they take on Australia in 1965 in the West Indies for the World Championship of the world. They defeat Australia 2-1. Again, Sobers scores 352 runs and takes 12 wickets. West Indies, for the first time in our history, we are the champions of the world.
Yes.
So that is 1965. We become world champions, right? The federation has collapsed. What happens in July 1965, right after that triumph? Well, what happens? 2 premiers, Premier Errol Barrow and Premier Forbes Burner, meet in Barbados on the 4th of July and decide that they are going to resurrect the Caribbean integration movement and establish the Caribbean Free Trade Association, CARIFTA. Now, I want to point out something. So this comes immediately. Sobers takes that West Indies team to the pinnacle of world cricket. But why Barbados and Guyana?
Yes.
Well, that World Championship winning West Indies team in 1965 included from Barbados, Hunt, Nurse, Sobers, Tony White, Hall, Griffith, David Allen, 7 members. And from Guyana, Canai, Butcher, Solomon, and Gibbs. In other words,
the team was comprised
the team was basically Bajans and Guyanese.
Yes.
So is there a connection between that fact and the fact that the 2 leaders who came together to say, let us resurrect the Caribbean integration movement, were the leaders of Barbados
and
Guyana? I want people to think about that, right? And then we go to 1966. What happens in 1966? Well, we know it is Barbados negotiates its independence in 1966. But simultaneously to Premier Barrow and the other political leaders being in London negotiating Barbados's independence with the British, the West Indies team under Garfield Sobers, he wasn't Sir yet,
yes,
is playing a test series against England simultaneously. What happens in that series? Well, in that series, they demolish England 3-1. Sobers scores 722 runs,
wow,
and takes 20 wickets. In addition to that, that West Indies team is made up of 8 Bajans. So there's Conrad Hunt, Seymour Nurse, David Holford, Peter Lashley, David Allen, Charlie Griffith, Wesley Hall, and Garfield Sobers, right? So while Barrow and them are tussling with the British over Barbados getting independence, on the cricket field, a West Indies team with 8 Bajans in it is thrashing the so-called mother country, right? And so again, is there a connection? Clearly, Mr. Barrow and those Barbadian politicians had to be taking inspiration from what was happening on the field of cricket. So, long story short, the British agree, Barbados independence, 30th of November, 1966. And how does Barbados choose to celebrate its independence? Well, Barbados chooses to celebrate its independence by challenging the rest of the world in a cricket match. You know, unfortunately, it is delayed and it doesn't take place until March of 1967. But just to show how important cricket was to the achievement of Barbadian nationhood. So I want us to have this understanding that this man, his influence was not confined to the cricket field. He was an enlivening agent and presence in the whole construction of Caribbean integration, the whole instilling of that regional spirit in Caribbean people and making them believe that as a unified Caribbean or West Indian entity, that we could do great things, you know, and then also inspiring the Barbadian national spirit. So that is who we are honoring and giving God thanks for and burying tomorrow. A national hero, not only of Barbados, but I would say a national hero of the Caribbean community.
And you're quite right, and naturally the world adopted him as well as one of their heroes too. And so when we reflect for just a moment on the value he brought, not just to the game of cricket, but to lived experience in the region, we see him as someone worthy of applause. And so tomorrow is a significant one that you show up and show out. And whether you line the street or you come to Kensington Oval to be a part of that service of thanksgiving for the gift, really, truly, he is a national hero. And so he changed the face of cricket. You brought a couple books along with you as well. One that speaks to his own autobiography, and then the other one that speaks to the changing face of cricket and his contribution.
Yes, Sir Gary has been a presence with me. And I went to primary school in Trinidad, not in Barbados.
Yes.
So when I say that all the little boys in primary school, I is Sobers, I is West Hall, I am talking about Trinidadians, not Bajans. You know, so he has been a presence. And then I came to live in Barbados, and I went to, the Methodist Manse in Highgate Gardens, and just by chance, who should become my next door neighbor but the said Sir Garfield Sobers. In fact, as I was telling you, I had a pleasant surprise waking up this morning to a text message from his ex-wife Prudence in Australia. We were shared some photographs of the children, who grew up next door to me and so forth. So he has been a presence, and so these are a couple of my books on Sir Garfield. And, I was in preparation for this program, rereading his autobiography. And, it's so strange, he shared so much in common with my own mother that he was born in Chelsea Road. She grew up in Chelsea Road. His father was a merchant seaman in the Canadian Merchant Marine. Her father was a merchant seaman. His father went down in a German submarine attack in 1942. Her father similarly went down in a German submarine attack in 1942, right? So His mother never remarried. She used the little pension that they got from the Canadian government to see after her children. My grandmother similarly never remarried, used the little pension from the Canadian government to, you know, see after her children. So strange that the two of them shared so much, and then they became next door neighbors, you know. But yes, but beyond that, you know, beyond those personal contacts, that game of cricket, you know, I'm a student of the history of Barbados. I mean, Barbados went from being a very brutish, that slave society, very brutish. Cricket played a big role in civilizing Barbados, in breaking down social and racial barriers. And in fact, C.L.R. James argues that cricket was established in England at a time when English society, English civilization was in the doldrums and needed something to lift it. And cricket played that role. And this man, Sir Garfield Sobers, took this game that was developed by another culture, another people, and he brought something unique to it. He lifted it. He actually lifted it to a higher level. And I think that this game of cricket, I mean, he became like the greatest exponent of this game. And cricket is not just an ordinary game. It is a game of artistry. It is a game of drama. It is a game of character, of intellectual capacity. And I think Barbados is very fortunate that men like Sir Frank Worrell, Sir Everton Weekes, Sir Clyde Walcott, Sir Garfield, Sir Wesley Hall, Charlie Griffith, Seymour Nurse. Barbados is very fortunate that these men lived out this game among us, you know, and that game has made a tremendous contribution to making Barbados what it is.
And the region by extension. Ambassador, what a wonderful conversation carried on this morning. We took a different approach, but I think you get it, everybody. This concludes today's conversations on CARICOM. Thank you so much, Ambassador.
My pleasure, Pearson.
And so Patricia Ben says, oh boy, I'm loving this story. Tell it, Ambassador Cobbershaw. Speak it. Champion cricket, the West Indies. Thank you, Pat. She's watching from the United States. And so I'm sure for a lot of you, you would review this series, today's show, and again, get a greater sense, a deeper sense of understanding of the game of cricket, the contribution of Sir Frank Worrell and Sir Garfield Sobers to our lived experience and to the development of CARICOM as well. And there's so many things that we did not know. But by paying attention, now we know. Get the books as well. Sir Gary's his own autobiography, and the other book that speaks to his changing the face of cricket. Look at your screens. That's what the books look like. I'm sure they're going to be in reprint if they're out of print. And so very soon you can have your own personal copy as well and follow the message of the man known as the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
23 now to go to 7 o'clock on this Tuesday morning, the day before the funeral service for the late national hero, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers. And joining me now, because as I hinted at the top, let's find out what the BCA is doing in these last hours, is Stephen Leslie, who is the Manager of Marketing and Communication with the Barbados Cricket Association. Stephen, good morning to you.
Morning, Pearson. Hope you're doing well.
I am doing as well can be. And yourself?
We're extremely busy.
I know.
Barbados Cricket Association is working with a wider group, having the responsibility to pull together this state funeral, and I want to commend Lisa Cummins and the entire group of persons who have been really working very, very hard to ensure that we get the maximum from this particular event. The state funeral will have thousands of eyes on this island. Sir Garfield Sobers is reveled all over the world. I'll say to you that from as far as Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, these individuals have been reaching out in different capacities, sending tributes, and they really want to celebrate the great man that he was.
The Oval is our Mecca, literally our Mecca. It's one of the places in Barbados of which we're hugely proud, without a doubt. In terms of the preparation, what kinds of things would you want to share with us relative to tomorrow, so that we are, one, respectful, and that we do get a chance to be able to pay our final respects?
Well, our information basically is the actual ceremony begins at 10 a.m. But they're park and ride, different locations across the island that start from as early as 6:30 in the morning. And one of the things about the event, you know, you're going to have dignitaries from all across the Caribbean who will come in, and I would say even the farther ways across the world. Now, one of the critical things about tomorrow, we as Bajans, there's, I admit, one ticket to different parts of the stadium. And once you've got that ticket, that gives a sense of what, in terms of the numbers that will be in the particular stadium. I expect, like you, thousands of Barbadians to turn out, not just to line the streets, but to be in the stadium. And there's a temporary stand, a huge stand, which I believe will also be filled. And I said to someone about a week and a half ago that very much this activity might bring a larger crowd than what you see sometimes at international games. But again, it's befitting of Sir Garfield Sobers. And the key thing about Barbadians, they need to ensure that they're part of this event, part of this activity, ensure that they pay their respects today at Kensington Oval. He'll be lying there from 10 a.m. this morning, and opportunities there to be able to file pass and to be able to pay respects to the great man.
Let's look at the logistics to that now. Today is filing pass. Where exactly is it, so that there's no confusion and we get there and we do as respectfully as we can the filing pass? Yeah,
my understanding is that the entrance to the main Kensington stand is where everyone will come in, and then the actual location of the body will be obviously in an area where it's under a tent, and individuals will be able to come through, file, and go right back out. So that is going to be, again, a very orderly activity. There'll also be opportunities to sign condolence book for Sir Garfield Sobers, and we hope everyone will come out and be orderly as we are as Barbadians as we pay reverence to Sir Garfield Sobers.
I think there's such a fondness that Barbados have in their hearts for the national hero that, you know, on the announcement of his passing, people came to his statue to lay flowers and to pay homage and all the rest of it. So naturally, I think they are going to show up in numbers. Yesterday was interesting because in the heat of the day, people were patiently waiting in queue to go into Parliament building to file past. And so we want you to come. Children will be encouraged, no doubt, to be a part of this procession.
Yeah, and the Barbados Cricket Association, part of our mandate for the entire activity was to invite all of the youth in our schools, in our clubs, and also the men and women who play within our clubs. And what that will bring is that extra flavor to the actual activity, and they're being asked to wear their whites, similar to what Sir Gary did for those 93 test matches and all over the world, so that you can actually see that this is a group of persons who are part of this whole celebration of life for Sir Garfield Sobers.
It's going to be interesting. There were a number of events leading up to today, though. However, Saturday, we know that we had some rain, but that cricket match was there, and then the meeting at the Cricket Legends as well. How did those go, and what do you think Bajans came away with?
Well, I was at Cricket Legends last night, and the first two individuals who spoke were Sir Wes Hall and Sir Charlie Griffith. And you're seeing two gentlemen in their late 80s, and they're giving each other some banter. Sir Wes is so witty, Sir Charles knows, and they're back and forth. And those gentlemen spoke about a lot of the exploits back especially even the Thai test where Suez played. So Charles wasn't in that squad, but they spoke about these things in such a way that it was almost like nostalgic, and and
here's a standing
here's a standing on it. And I found that what was interesting is that everyone appreciated what happened there. There were a number of individuals. I recall seeing the great Brian Lara. He was present last night. You have Professor Sir Hilary Beckles, again, Minister Lisa Cummins was there, and a whole set of cricket legends who have been with Sir Gary, with Suez, as part of that organization. And it was very well put together. The event, which was a couple of days before, which was at the Police Sports Club, there was massive rain on the island, if you recall. And one of the things about it is that they still turned up in sufficient numbers to really show that respect to the great man. And those individuals who spoke with regards to what they have had experience with Sir Gary, you can feel the passion. You can, feel the presence that he had was one that was resounding. And I'm really grateful that those guys who spoke certainly last night and then a couple of days before are really having the opportunity to reflect on Sir Gary Sobers.
But that's the way we feel of the man.
Yes.
We own him, even though he belongs to the world. We get very insular when it comes to situations like this. He's one of us, he's a Barbadian, but he really truly was a global citizen. What I absolutely admire about him was that he never shied away from people. As much as he was away whenever he's here, he was sure to be among the people. Talk to me a little bit about his humility and his humanness.
Well, I always like to reflect back on 2024. He was with his late partner who predeceased him, Jackie.
Yes.
And the Indian cricket team were in the Caribbean. They came to Kensington. And each of those Indian players, Rahul Dravid was coach of the team. You had the likes of Virat, Rohit Sharma. And each individual who came up to Sir Gary, he said, "Greetings, here's my partner, Jackie." It was so resounding. And I mean, if there were 20 members, each of those members were introduced one by one to his partner Jackie, and then he proceeded to speak, and he was just so natural in what he did, and you could recognize in his interactions with persons that here's a man who would have walked with kings, presidents, and yet he's able to communicate very seamlessly with the average Barbadian or the average Caribbean person. And if you take a look, and I'm sure you've had opportunity to look at social media, all across the world,
Yes.
you have every cricketing and sometimes even non-cricketing country making and paying regards to Sir Gary because he transcended just cricket. He was truly a great man, and we were blessed that he was Barbadian.
You got that right. Yes. And so as this global citizen prepares to leave us tomorrow, remind us again. So today, viewing, the filing pass starts at what time?
Starts for the public at 10 a.m.
10 o'clock.
And that will go through to the early afternoon period. And we're just encouraging persons to come to Kensington. And when it comes to the event on Wednesday, the actual state funeral, make sure you get those tickets. Make sure you sign those condolences book and be part of that activity tomorrow.
Yeah. Yesterday, there was an extension to time. I suspect that's what's going to happen today as well.
Yes.
So you've left yourself with a little bit of room
Yeah.
in the event so that no one is turned away. Because each of us wants to be able to be there to say goodbye to this outstanding Barbadian indeed. And so today, filing pass will start at 10 o'clock. And it'll go to the early afternoon, but we're not going to turn anyone away. Bring the children along. Let them also witness history as it goes. No photographs are allowed to be taken, but you're asked to respectfully go on and just move through quietly and as quickly as you possibly can so that we can accommodate so many others who will be outside in the sun waiting to see a son of the soil. And so I encourage today to go on down to be a part of it. But get your ticket as well, and get your ticket to be in the Oval tomorrow for that service of Thanksgiving. We are admitting just one. Get as many tickets as you want. Each of you will come and you will be admitted indeed. And so tomorrow, have you any idea what time can people start to file in?
Well, that information I'm not 100% sure, but in terms of how the Barbados Defence Force will be obviously there to ensure that. Because there's a procession, it will stop firstly by the nation, then by the cricket legends, and then they will come in. Yeah.
You've done a video as well. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, Pearson, the individuals chosen to be part of this video, we always wanted to do something from the Barbados Cricket Association for Sir Gary in the month of July. And It was interesting that we first approached each of the Barbadians who are West Indies captains. We obviously spoke to his family. Daniel Sobers, his son, was the first person we spoke about. And when you look at the video, the collection of those individuals, it also included Sir Charles Griffith, who, again, marveled. I remember driving from Kensington Oval down to North Stars in St. Lucie. And here's this huge titan who has a statue at Kensington Oval. And the pleasure, I mean, we generally would do recordings, as you know, in this industry, where sometimes you may have to do a second take. Not with Sir Charles Griffith. He spoke freely, he was chuckling, he was happy. And there was one thing in the video that he says about Sir Gary always encouraged us. And he said, he was such a wonderful cricketer that things that he encouraged us to do, he took it for granted because of his genius that everybody else could do it. And his son also said within the video, my dad taught me how to be a good family man, how to take care of individuals. And one of the things about this video, Pearson, when it was actually put together, we wanted to be able to have a flavor that would celebrate the man, celebrate the lives and the many that he touched. And we are very happy with the production. We have had numerous requests. I was on the phone yesterday morning, Australian. They're about 12 hours ahead of us in terms of time zone, and everyone is ready. Everyone is taking it on board, and the great opportunity now for Barbadians to have to take a look at it. I think that that's something that they should. It's called Sir Garfield Sobers, the King of Cricket.
All right. With that teaser, let's take a look together, Barbados, at Sir Garfield Sobers, the King of Cricket.
As an expression of the greatness that he would have shown all across the fields, across the world. From the BCL to the West Indies team, this wonderful son of Barbadian soil has shown us how we should strive for excellence in every endeavor.
My most memorable moments with Sir Gary were never a cricket field. I wasn't nowhere near that standard. But what I loved is touring with him, how he was always so generous and kind and witty, humorous. And when we go to dinner, he would always give me anything green on his plate. He would say, "Come, rabbit," because he know you like a rabbit eating all this lettuce and all of these green things. And I stopped eating them things when the time I became an adult, because my mom always used to force me to eat it, and I never did like them. So, "Come, rabbit, let me green things."
Being part of the Sobers family has been a pure joy for me. Some people have famous family and see it as a hindrance, but I see it as a benefit. My father is a very gracious and generous individual. He's a man of the people. Despite anywhere he goes, could be from Buckingham Palace to Baxter's Road, he treats everybody with the same due respect. And what my father's taught me about family is being able to support your family, be caring towards your family, be a little firm when needed, but ultimately being part of the Sobers family has been a blessing. And also living in Barbados and having that close-knit community has been excellent.
The achievements of Sir Garfield Sobers have inspired many generations of Barbadian cricketers. His name is known across the world, and he's widely regarded as a symbol of cricketing excellence. His record test score of 365 not out stood for 36 years. And when you hear about other great players speaking of him, they speak of his vast knowledge of the game, his swagger, and generally they speak of him as the greatest cricketer they have known. Sir Garfield Sobers, Barbados national hero and a treasured and truly loved son of the soil.
Sir Gary has been the shining light of Barbados and West Indies cricket, recognized all over the world. Sir Gary has been a lover of Barbados cricket, a lover of cricket, a lover of the BCA, has never wavered or spared any time not being part of Barbados cricket. He was a true servant of Barbados cricket. And we know that he extended that to cricket, West Indies, and wherever he went, and he was called upon for cricket, he would respond.
International cricket is challenging, and you were the best test all-rounder to do it. I mean, some of your feats still stand today, some of your records still stand, and you inspired a lot of youngsters to want to play the game.
I am here at North Stars Cricket down in St. Lucie, where I was born, to give this interview about the genius that they call Garfield Sobers. And it is a pleasure to do that for him, because I've never seen a cricketer like Sir Gary Sobers. He was 5 people on a team, and he could bowl back anything he could do. And therefore, when you're out there with him, you feel that you're out there with a master that can teach you and you can learn from him. I know that when you got to be in a position to bat with him, he always tell you, I'm not going to shield you. You're a batsman, you got to stand up and bat. And if you don't bat, you got to bat. And he encourages you. He's that type of person that he feels that whatever he can do, you can do. But it's impossible. Because where he is concerned, he makes things look so easy.
You were the first cricketer to hit 6 sixes in an over, a feat that could only be equaled but not surpassed. You played the game with a West Indian flair that inspired every girl and boy. The best in the business you were, not only at being an amazing all-rounder on the field, but at being an amazing all-round human being off the field, and a national hero of Barbados. Your pride and dignity and the way you represent us all will forever be cherished.
Sir Garfield Sobers, you're truly a legend.
As a former Barbados cricketer, Sir Garfield Sobers, you have always been my hero.
I never want to be in the dressing room. I always want to be on the field. And when I was on the field, I want to be able to do everything. I developed 3 different styles of bowling. I feel in the leg slit. I feel close to the wicket. I always wanted to be in the area where I had to be thinking and concentrating and working out things for myself, because you're always in the game.
Oh, Sir Gary, this I have to say. When it comes to cricket, no one could compare with you. When you're batting, when you're bowling, when you're feeling, you, Sir Gary, is the cricket king.
Wow, what a presentation. Well done, Stephen, to you and your team, and your videographer, all of your editors as well. Sir Gary, the king of cricket.
The king of cricket. And what you saw, the mighty Gabby, he spoke at the beginning, he did that instrumental at the end. He was, again, over the moon. And the team that came together, I want to first thank Shari Ross, who's my colleague, we did the interviews. Kevin Delaney, who would have been the videographer, and we sat down, pulled together all the different clips. And then there were some contributors, Student Revolving Loan Fund, the Barbados Lotteries, and then we also had Signia Globe Financial. Everyone came on board, the entire team at the Barbados Cricket Association, to ensure that we celebrate the life. Sir Garfield Sobers is the king of cricket, resounding title. He's not the king of cricket in the Caribbean, he's the king of cricket. And from his son Daniel Sobers, everyone really came together to ensure that they contributed to what we believe will be a production that individuals can watch for many years to come.
And so you got to see it for the first this morning. If you haven't seen it before, it's available on your socials and
on our social media for Facebook and Instagram. We also have our website, and we made contact with Cricket West Indies, Mr. Chris Daring. I want to thank him as well. He's going to have it on all of their social media. And then again, I told you, Australia, United Kingdom, United States, New Zealand, we're going all through the globe to ensure that we celebrate the king of cricket.
Indeed, in a very big way. Thank you so much, Stephen. All the best to you.
It's been a pleasure.
Likewise. Morning Barbados breaks here. We're back in a moment.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV-CAM tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. And together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Let's go to news now. Barbados continues to honor one of its most celebrated sons. From government officials to relatives to ordinary citizens, scores gathered at Parliament buildings yesterday to pay their respects to the national hero, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, as he was lying in state before his interment on Wednesday tomorrow. Among those in attendance were the Prime Minister, Mia Amal Motley, Attorney General Wilfred Abrams, members of Parliament, all joining in solemn tribute. Deanza Roberts reports.
The Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, national hero, lying in state as Barbados honors one of its greatest sons. Standing in silent vigil are members of the Barbados Police Service, and the Barbados Defence Force, who maintained a ceremonial guard throughout the morning, underscoring the nation's deep respect for the legendary all-rounder. It is a solemn and dignified occasion, fitting for a man whose extraordinary achievements transcended cricket and inspired generations of Barbadians. After his family has their time away from the cameras, a procession of people paying their respects, led by President the Most Honourable Jeffrey Bostic. Following his Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley, who since Sir Gary's death has described him as a towering figure whose legacy belongs not only to Barbados but to the world. As Barbados prepares for Sir Gary's interment on Wednesday, his line in state serves as a reminder of the profound impact he has made on the nation and the world. His records may define his cricketing greatness, but it is his humility, generosity and enduring love for Barbados that many say will forever define his legacy. Deanza Roberts, CBC News.
Well, tributes continue from well beyond Barbados. In Trinidad and Tobago, where the cricket legend played his final test match in 1974, former cricket and tourism representatives gathered at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy to celebrate the man widely regarded as the greatest all-rounder cricket has ever seen. Here's a report now from Anesta Henry.
The Brian Lara Cricket Academy became a fitting venue for a regional tribute to Sir Garfield Sobers, whose remarkable achievements transformed West Indies cricket and inspired generations across the Caribbean. Officials from the Barbados Tourism Marketing Incorporated joined Cricket West Indies and the Cricket Legends of Barbados to honor the cricket icon in the country where he played his final test match more than 5 decades ago. Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc. Director for the Caribbean, Graham Clark, described him not only as a sporting legend, but also as one of Barbados's greatest tourism ambassadors, promoting the island wherever he traveled.
We're here at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy in its first inaugural first test match being played here. And we know the connection that Sir Gary also had with Brian Lara, very close friends. You may even consider him a protege of Sir Gary and one that had a very close relationship. So we're delighted to be here at the Academy, and we're delighted to be here in Trinidad, where Sir Gary ended his career as a test player. He played his last test match in 1974.
President of Cricket Legends Joel Garner said the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers loved cricket. He also spoke of how humble he was.
He had some really good characteristics about him. I think the greatest is the humility. I mean, for a man so great, he would never believe that he's as humble as he was. Very dignified. It was a pleasure working with him, and when you're wrong, and you're wrong him, you know that you're in the presence of greatness.
First Vice President of the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board, Altaf Bashk, also praised the man who he says uplifted cricket throughout the world.
Sir Garfield Sobers was indeed a true pioneer of West Indies cricket and would have led to the upliftment of West Indies cricket throughout all the territories. He was indeed a person to be emulated, and so we would have seen in our own pride and joy here in Trinidad and Tobago with Brian Lara pursuing his career and trying to see Garfield Sobers as his role model.
Independent Director on the Board of Cricket West Indies and the Chairperson of the Strategic Governance Committee, Cricket West Indies, Deborah Coriat Payton, said the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers was a legend who will be missed.
He inculcated that discipline of the cricket. People looked up to him, and that is all we wanted. We wish there were a lot more Gary Sobers. He was a person we can rely on. He was dependable, and Gary will definitely be missed. We really miss Gary, and we love him.
From Barbados to Trinidad and across the Caribbean, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers is being remembered for his humility, dignity, and pride with which he represented the region. Anesta Henry, CBC News.
Here's a reminder to you now that tomorrow there will be many road adjustments, and so the Public Affairs and Communications Officer with the Barbados Police Service, Acting Inspector Ryan Brathwaite, is notifying you of these traffic disruptions. He notes that some of the roads that will be impassable between 6 in the morning till 12 noon tomorrow include Fairchild Street, Bridge Street, President Kennedy Drive and St. Michael's Road.
There will be disruption. So I want to encourage all those persons who are making deliveries into the city on Wednesday the 29th. If possible, we're asking that you make those deliveries on Tuesday the 28th of July 2026. Outside of that, there will be a reopening of the streets around midday, which would allow for those deliveries. We know that there will be disruption, and we are kindly asking for the cooperation of the general public.
TV8 will be live from 6 o'clock in the morning with tributes into our live broadcast of activities from 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. A workshop aimed at improving emergency sexual and reproductive health response is now underway in Barbados. The minimum initial service package is designed to help reduce deaths, illnesses and disability among people affected by crises and emergencies. Trevor Thorpe reports.
The planning workshop opened at UN House in Marine Gardens. And speaking at the opening session, Chief Medical Officer Dr. the Most Honourable Kenneth George stressed the need for greater vigilance and preparedness to ensure sexual and reproductive health services remain accessible during emergency situations. The CMO said the timing of this workshop is particularly crucial given the increasing challenges faced by vulnerable populations during crises.
Disasters can happen anywhere, even here in Barbados. In fact, we have not experienced any major recent humanitarian crisis, but that does not justify complacency.
Liaison Officer Jane Gibbons called on all participants to actively engage in the workshop to strengthen collaborative efforts and improve the delivery of these vital services. She says it is a safeguard for Barbados and the region.
Across the climate vulnerable Caribbean, we live in a localized reality that we cannot afford to ignore. When we discuss disaster preparedness, we are talking about our own homes, because our homes need to be disaster ready, our neighborhoods, and our own families.
The workshop aims to equip health professionals and stakeholders with the knowledge and tools necessary to implement the MIS effectively, ultimately safeguarding the well-being and the dignity of those impacted by humanitarian crises. Technical advisor, sexual and reproductive health, Dr. Batula Hassan Abdi, looked ahead at what is expected to accrue from the exercise.
When we consider MISP in emergency as a non-negotiable element, just like shelter, food, and water, because when disaster strikes, girls will not stop menstruating, right? Neither will labor stop, and it can come anytime. With that understanding, then what we have seen in the past responses is that, of course, what comes to mind immediately is food, shelter, water. Yes, and those things are life-saving. And MISP is non-negotiable too. For me, that will be the success factor if we all have that understanding.
The workshop will go into its second day at the same venue tomorrow. Trevor Thorpe, CBC News.
To sports now, Barbados is assured of its first medal at the 25th CAC Games in Santo Domingo. In tennis, Stephen Slocum and Kaipo Marshall are set into the men's doubles final after they were handed a walkover in yesterday's semi-final, as the Puerto Rican team did not take to the court. That final is scheduled for later today. Meanwhile, it's also looking good so far for Barbados in surfing. Chelsea Tuac has advanced to the penultimate round in the women's shortboard. Tuac placed second in her quarterfinal with a wave total of 7.90 to secure a place in today's semi-final, where she will face Venezuela's Rosani Alvarez. Meanwhile, Jacob Burke, his games ended in the quarterfinals after finishing third in his heat, earning an equal fifth-place finish. In men's hockey, Barbados got their campaign going with a solid 4-2 win over Guatemala. In shooting, Michelle Elliott was just 2 targets off the podium as she finished in 4th position in the Women's Skeet Championship. And in golf, Xavier Wiggins sits 13th after the 3rd round of the men's competition. He is at 13 over par. That's a look at news and sports. Morning Barbados takes a break here. We're right back after.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good, your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
14 and a half minutes now after the hour of 7 o'clock, as I just want to remind you that tomorrow is the day of remembrance really for the national hero, Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers. And so the service of thanksgiving and in celebration of his contribution will be held at Kensington Oval. But right here on TV8 we bring you coverage from 6 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. At 6 o'clock we'll be sharing with you times of tribute. Tributes have come from all over the world, and we'll take some time to share with you what others have said as they eulogize the man. Then at 7 o'clock we get going live on TV8 as we follow the parade from Lyndhurst Funeral Home through to Kensington Oval and eventually on to Coral Ridge. Our coverage will be anchored by Julian Rogers, Alison Leacock, and Jose. And so we want you to follow along with this route with Belle Holder, Cassandra Crawford, and Barry Wilkinson. So many experts will be on this coverage tomorrow. You can watch it on TV8 from 7 o'clock in the morning, or you can join radio as well on all of the combined stations of the CBC. Will be bringing special coverage of tomorrow's activity. Let's turn attention to special people now. Special people who are going to be representing Barbados in the Goodwill Games, a swimming competition in Trinidad and Tobago in a matter of weeks. And so all of the excitement in the world they'll share with you now as they prepare to represent us and do well in the pool, as we're joined this morning by their female chaperone in Tanya Martelli. Good morning to you, Tanya.
Good morning.
Good to have you, as well as Judah Sylvester, who's in the tiniest of the lot this morning, 8 and under. He's she should be still in bed, right, Judah?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 o'clock is your wake-up time. Your alarm sets at 10.
Well, I don't have an alarm.
You just naturally get up at 10?
Yeah.
You're a good man. If I don't have an alarm, I'm going to be late. So I have to work with the alarm. Karis Freeman is with him as well. Karis, good morning to you too.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. You're cold? You'll be fine in just a moment. Think of the pool. And you'll be all right. Zaya Phillips is with us as well. Zaya, you're good too?
Yes, please.
How are you enjoying your vacation?
It's going well. I'm having rest while I do my practices, so overall it's okay. It could be worse.
It could be worse or it could be better, right?
Yes, please.
So it's good, just okay.
Yes,
and Adante, I love your first name, Adante. Adante Martin, good morning to you.
Morning.
Who was it that gave you your first name, your mommy or your daddy?
My mom.
She thinks you're special, right?
Yes, she is.
Barbados does too. So welcome to you as well.
Morning.
So Tanya, here we are. 1, 2, 3, 4 of a team that you're taking to Trinidad and Tobago to represent Barbados. And you know Barbados is always proud of Barbados anywhere else in the world.
Yes.
And so how excited are you for this Goodwill Games coming up?
I am very excited. I am excited for the opportunity to be able to serve the swimmers and to, while they are achieving their goals and this being a memorable experience, that myself along with the 3 other chaperones, there's actually 4 of us in total, there are 2 males and 2 females, that we would be able to provide a safe, enjoyable, a memorable experience for them.
The 30-something athletes.
The 37.
37 athletes. That's a lot of young children bursting with energy and wanting to go everywhere. But your job is to keep them together?
Yes, so our main role while we're there in Trinidad, our responsibility is to ensure, their care, their welfare, supervision for them. So when they're not directly under the care of the coaches in the pool, we are the ones who are going to be there with them. One of the things I want to emphasize at this point in time is that for Team Barbados, safeguarding is very important with our children. And just to help the Barbados public to understand, safeguarding is in essence identifying possible harm, any kind of harm, and being able to come up with solutions to mitigate against those. And so what we have sought to do is that the World Aquatics, which is the governing body for swimming, diving, and artistic swimming in the world, they have a safeguarding essentials course, and all the management had to take the course as well as the swimmers. So the younger ones, their parents did the course with them. And we have been having sessions discussing what does it mean as a swimmer to keep myself safe as well as to keep each other safe so we can all have an enjoyable time.
And I'm glad you took the time to explain that, because I wanted to ask you to assure parents, therefore, that while your little ones are down at the poolside getting ready to do their swimming, be sure that they're quite safe, because the chaperones will ensure they've been trained and they understand what to look out for and how to respond when an alarm is raised. And so don't you worry from the stands while you watch. It's going to be okay. The chaperones are quite prepared to do so. And so there are 4 of you, 2 females and 2 males, and you set off on the 13th, I believe.
Yes,
it is.
that's correct.
Is this your first time taking on this role? Sounds like a no.
It's my first time taking on this role from a national level, but in terms of having to look out for the welfare and care and supervision of children within the same age range, I have done it before, and in a case where the children are away from their parents, so I do understand the concerns that parents have leaving, handing over their children in the care of another one, and
in a foreign space.
And in a foreign space, yes, and I guess for me too, being a parent as well, I understand what that feels like.
So you've been around swimming for a little bit.
Yes.
And so what excites you? What do you think are going to be some of our expectations should be of our performance of Team Barbados at the Goodwill Games?
Definitely personal best. I think many of the swimmers want to do personal best. And there's nothing more rewarding for me just seeing the joy on swimmers' faces. I also like the moments where swimmers may be struggling with their confidence and being able to be there and to just inspire them at that moment and let them know all the hard work that you have done. This is the moment to go into the water and be amazing, because you are amazing, and just to see them, they go and they do it and they come out and they just feel so happy with what they've been able to accomplish. It's really, truly, for me, very rewarding.
I'm sure, I'm so sure for all of us. We are sitting from afar, so to get the results, we're excited indeed. Judah, you're going there now. You told us that you can't even float. But you do the backstroke, which requires you to float on your back, isn't it? So how do you do that when you are so uncomfortable with floating? How does that work?
To be honest, I don't even know how it works. I just get on my back and swim. And then I just try to kick. And then before I know it, I'm at the wall.
Yeah, your mind goes into survival mode, right?
Yeah.
Survival. Oh, I'm on my back. I have to go. And next thing, you're at the wall. And so, how do you know that you've reached the wall? Because you can't see.
There are these things above the pool deck. They're like these flags.
Oh.
And they let you know you're like 5 meters or so away from the wall. So I try to count my stroke count to get to the wall.
You've just taught me that. That's what those represent. I see. I kept wondering why they decorated the pool like that, but no, that's it. That's all reminders for you as to your distance and your distance from. And so, how many years have you been swimming now?
3 to 4 years.
And you are how old?
9.
So just about half your life you've been swimming.
Yeah.
50% of your lifetime you've been swimming. And so far, what kinds of success have you met?
I've gotten lots of gold medals. I've broken about 4 or 5 records. And I've beat a lot of my personal best.
And so this time around at the Goldville Games, you expect to do that, right? Beat your personal bests. Even if you don't win a medal, you want to beat your personal best.
Yes.
But you want medals. You want to come home and boast with some hardware, right?
Yeah.
So for sure you're going for medals. So for the last 4 to 5 years, this is what you've been doing. What's your pet event?
I have 2, but I like backstroke a little bit better. The other one is butterfly.
Butterfly. Butterfly. That's the one where you do this? Oh,
Yeah.
move like a turtle, in my estimation. That's the butterfly one.
Yeah.
And so, what got you involved in swimming in the first place? Because you could have just gone to the beach and frolic on the sand, like a lot of us adults would, and keep out the pool. But you chose instead to spend your time swimming in the way that you do. What is it about it that got you so fascinated?
So I went to a camp called We Kids 1 year with my friends, and they went to a swimming class in the beach, and I really enjoyed it. So I told my parents I want to go back and swim, and then
they
let
weren't
me
scared?
swim.
Mommy nor daddy was really? Okay. Believe in you. They believe in you, right?
Yeah.
So do you have a team of people who are following you to Trinidad for this competition?
It's only my mom, my dad, and my brother.
That's enough. That's enough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure when your head pops up out of the water, you want to see exactly where they are, right? And they guarantee you they'll be shouting the loudest for Judah. All right, so good luck to you, all right?
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Karis, I love your first name. It's really very different, Karis Freeman. And so talk to me a little bit about you in the pool and your swimming career so far.
Yes. My swimming career is about just swimming fast and how I just swim good. But my favorite events are 200 meter freestyle and 400 meter freestyle.
Freestyle is when you can do whatever you want to do? Is that what it's called, that freestyle?
I don't really know.
It's just called freestyle. So you're really, really good at those 2 events. And you're good at that because what, you've been winning, or your times are really competitive?
Because I'm a long distance swimmer.
Ah, you have the lung capacity to be able to swim that long. And so for how many years have you been swimming now?
6 years.
6 years? Wow. Are you looking forward to the Goodwill Games?
Yes.
Is this your first time?
No, I went in 2024.
In 2024? But it's now 2 years later. Lots of things may have changed. Have you also been doing your own research in preparation for your going to represent Barbados in Trinidad coming up?
I've been just studying how I can just do my personal best and just work harder.
Have you also studied who else will be in the pool swimming against you?
Not really, but not yet.
You think you will? Because you want to know who to beat, who has the regional lead time so far. And these good games bring together, Tanya, a group of nations from across the region to compete one against the other, isn't it?
Yes.
How many competitors, teams, nations?
I am
have any idea?
100% sure how many there are, but from across the Caribbean.
Across the Caribbean. Yeah. So you're swimming against some of the region's best, Miss Karis. And so I wish you well too. What's your personal best time that you really want to beat? In which event again?
In terms of freestyle, I want to beat 2:42.
2 minutes 42 seconds. And what are you aiming for now?
I'm aiming for under 42, under 240.
Under 242. And do you hold a record or anything already?
Judah
has many.
I beat the record in 100 free.
Ah. Are you competing in that one this time around?
Yes, please.
And you can best your record now coming up, right?
Yes.
I know. I'm hopeful too for you. Hopeful for you as well, Karis. Well done indeed. We'll talk to the others and more right after this break on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Afar segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're having conversation with members of the Barbados swim team who will be representing us at the upcoming 30th edition of the Goodwill Swim Competition in Trinidad and Tobago. That competition starts on the 14th of August, but they're leaving Barbados on the 13th, and so we want to wish them well, but we want to get to know them as well who will be representing us. Zaya Phillips is one. She is a student of Harrison College, and Zaya, good morning again to you.
Good morning.
Are you excited about this competition coming up?
Yes, I'm excited, but I'm not too nervous as I would have been 2 years prior. This is my third time representing Barbados in the games, so I feel like I'm seasoned enough to know what I'm doing.
So what can one expect on arrival?
You can expect trying to get enough sleep. Sometimes you get home late, as the first day, I believe it finishes like late in the night, around 10, 11 so you have to make sure that you sleep long enough, even though you have to wake up earlier sometimes. But just to make sure that you rest and you do your best at the games.
How many events are you swimming in?
I'm swimming 8 individual events and I believe 3 relays.
11 possibly 11 in total?
Yes.
So how do you go about getting enough rest?
I try to if I can, because I'm not very good at sleeping during the day, I can try to sleep during the meet if I don't have any events at that moment in time. But other than that, just to not be on my feet as much, try and sit down and relax, eat what I have to keep my body energy up and whatnot.
You can't sleep during the day? That's why I'm still stuck on that for just a moment. I can sleep easily during the day. And so here it is now. You relax essentially from between events.
Yes,
and you find
please.
your own zone and you zone out and then zone in when required to do so.
Yes, I do.
In terms of preparation, is preparation also research of who else you're competing against?
Not really. I'm just trying to focus on bettering my times in training, because if you focus too much on other people, then you might lose yourself in the process. So I'm just trying to stay true to what I usually do.
So then, in all of that, I guess you're timing yourself every time you swim as you get ready for the Goodwill Games?
Yes.
And how are your times changing?
They're looking as... In training, your times aren't really going to be faster than your competition times. So trying to get them around your competition times shows a lot, saying that you will better them at the meet.
Yes. And how are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
Are you saying that or are you telling me?
I'm telling you.
She's doing very well indeed. What do you like to do for fun?
I don't really do a lot for fun. I just stay home most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
So usually my day-to-day would look at practice, then home, then back to practice, then home again. So I don't really do anything much in my free time. Maybe just scrolling, to be honest. I don't really do much. Sometimes I have to stretch, but there's not much fun time.
So this is your life, swimming?
Yes.
Swimming is your life, and you're passionate about it enough to follow
Yes,
it.
please.
Is this something you want to do professionally?
Yes, I would like
Alrighty.
to, once I get the chance.
Is there a favorite swimmer?
Pardon?
Do you have a favorite swimmer?
Yes.
What's that swimmer's name?
Michael Phelps, because he specializes in the butterfly, and that's my favorite stroke.
And so that's your favorite stroke, and therefore we expect from you there. We should expect from you a gold.
Hopefully.
I'm prophesying.
Once I do what I'm supposed to.
Once you do what you're supposed to do, indeed. And so, because this is the umpteenth time you've been attending the Goodwill Games now, how did you do in previous games?
Previous games, I came top 10 in a couple of events. Mostly, the closest I got to a medal was 4th, I believe. But every time I go to the games, I usually better my times. So I'm hoping to do that again.
At least the bronze we're
Yes,
setting
at
sight
least,
on.
at least.
I think you'll do well. Well done, Zaya.
Thank you.
Adante, let's talk with you now. How many years have you been going to Goodwill Games?
This is my 5th year.
Your 5th year. How old are you?
14.
14, 5th year, 9 years old. You started to go off to these Goodwill Games. And so over time, how has your achievement changed?
Well, it's sometimes the same as always throughout the years, but this year I'm hoping to do better and better my times in all my events that I'm doing.
So it's timing that you're working on right now.
Yes, please.
And what's your best time and what event is your best event?
My best time is 200 freestyle, and my best event is 50 breaststroke.
Okay. And so where are you now in terms of your training, in terms of beating those bests so far? A little off? Are you slowing down?
No, please.
Okay, but you're getting there. You're almost there.
Yes, please.
What kind of mental preparation do you go through so that you are in the right zone for competition?
Training for the week and eating right and stretching.
Stretching, eating right, and stretching. Stretching, eating right, and training. And so, you over time, since it's your 5th or so now, you've made friends.
Yes,
Or your
yes.
age category as well. Do you know if your friends are coming to the games or have qualified to come to the games?
But I don't know, please. I
You don't know yet. You haven't kept up that kind of communication. How did you How did you know you had qualified?
Because I got the time.
You got the time, and is an attainment of the time, or did you have to be officially informed that you've made the team?
Officially informed.
And who did that? Who was the official informer?
BASA.
Pardon me?
BASA, I think.
BASA, the Barbados Amateur Swimming Association. So they wrote to you. Did they write to you, or did they call you?
I sent an email to my mom
And your mommy said to you
that I made the team.
And you did what? Jump for joy.
Yes, yes.
Jump for joy, indeed. You're going to do well. I wish you well, Aiden.
Thank you.
Adante. And so, Tanya, so here we are now. Between now and the 13th of August, what's needed and what can we do to help?
Okay, well, I would like to say, first of all, that we are having a fundraiser on Friday, August 7th. It's going to be a splash cinema, so movie Under the Stars at the Aquatic Center.
Nice.
We definitely believe that behind every champion, all of our swimmers are champions, is a community. And so we're asking Barbados to come out and to support us so we can raise the funds needed to complete several of the things that we need to do. We also welcome any support that Corporate Barbados and even individuals may be willing to provide. And if they are interested in providing that support, they can contact the Barbados Aquatic Sports Association at 429-7946. And they'll be able to get all the banking details or be able to find out how and in more detail how they can contribute.
429-7946. 429-7946. You call and you can inquire and they'll respond to all of your questions. But we really want to show up in large numbers at the Aquatic Center on the 7th of August. The 7th of August for what time?
7 p.m. Well, the movie starts at 7, so get there before so you can socialize.
Of course, get to know these stars,
Amazing
get to meet
swimmers,
others
yes.
as well who'll be there at the Aquatic Center. That's a lovely venue to be able to watch movies. And so we're inviting all of you to make this a very, very special night, an evening out indeed for you and your family to come support swimming in Barbados as we prepare to send Team Barbados to the 30th Goodwill Swimming Championships in Trinidad and Tobago. They're arriving on the 13th, leaving Barbados on the 13th, and the competition starts on the 14th, but they are aiming for their best, and their best is great for us indeed. So we want to give them all of our support financially and in spirit as well. And we want to wish each of you success. Each of you. I can't wait to celebrate with you when you return home, okay?
Okay.
Bring that home. Right, Judah?
Yeah.
My brother. Thank you so much, Tanya, as well.
Thank you very much.
You're
for your
welcome.
time.
The number 429-7946, 429-7946. Call the Barbados Amateur Swimming Association and let them help you get the answers to what you're inquiring, but you can pour into the bank, get the bank details, and then you pour into the account because we want to uplift these young swimmers as they represent Barbados. Morning Barbados is right back right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Preserve your personal priceless memories. Here at CBC, we transfer VHS, DVDs, Beta, U-matic, and DV cam tapes to modern digital formats. Safely, quickly, and affordably. Call CBC on 467-5437 to get started. In just 2 weeks, your memories will be ready to relive and share again.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
This morning we continue to remember and reflect the man whose life and contribution we will be remembering tomorrow in a national service, a state service at Kensington Oval. We're speaking of Barbados' national hero, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers. And so at his 50th birthday, Maurice Greenwich, noted journalist and historian, spent time in conversation with him in a series we called 50 Not Out.
The year was 1936, July 28th to be exact, and exactly at this spot, in this modest house, a phenomenon was born. Garfield St. Aubin Sobers was born here 50 years ago. And so, to celebrate this anniversary, we talked to the great man and asked him a little bit about his past, the things that have made him the glorious person that he has been, and perhaps a little bit about the future.
When one was young, between the age of 11 and 12, and seeing the big boys, how they used to run around and do things that they want to do, as a youngster, you always felt that it would be nice to be at that age so that you can do some of those things yourself, instead of being told by your mother all the time, come inside, you must be in bed at 7 or 8 o'clock, you can't do this, you can't do that. You feel that if you're much older, that then you got more freedom to do more things that you want to do.
Now, as a youngster, you were quite a precocious child. I mean, you were playing cricket at 6 and 7 with boys twice your age. You also felt that that was a constraint, or it was good to be amongst the bigger fellas?
Oh no, it was marvelous to be among the bigger fellas, particularly when you were small, and all the bigger fellas used to admire you as one of the top players. And I recall the days when you're a little boy and you had to have your own bat and ball if you wanted to bat first, because if anybody else that were bigger than you take their gear out first, then you had to wait. But as a small boy, where my brothers and I, we always made sure that we had our own cricket gear. I used to take it up on the pasture, and I would cry first, as you know, in those days you used to have to cry first, or second and third, and all of that. And I would bat first because I was the smallest, and sometimes I'd bat all day. If I didn't bat first, my brother would bat first. And I remember those days when you're playing with the bigger boys, if you batted all day, they couldn't get you out. One of the big boys would walk up to you and say, now listen, if you don't get out the next ball, you're gonna have your bat hand and be knocked out, or you're gonna lose your bat or something. And you had to get out because you were being bullied by the bigger boys. You had a lot of those threats, I would imagine. Oh yes, me and my brothers, we had a lot of those threats during our youth.
Did you find of course, as a smaller boy, I'm sure you didn't find too many times when you got into scrapes and the older fellas wouldn't sort of protect you.
Oh no, well we never really had that.
No scraps.
I would say that, and I use the word we because my brothers and I, we used to play together all the time. Yes, yeah. And we never really got into any real scrapes because we weren't that type of children. We played the game, we played it hard, but we never really tried to play it unfair, or the bigger boys never looked at us in the light that we were taking advantage or anything.
Just
like
that you batted too long.
Yeah, well, that would happen, and I think they admired us.
Right.
I think they admired us for that because they realized that there was some kind of talent there, even from those early days.
Talking about the early days, 1954 is when you started. When 1958 against Pakistan. 4 years later, you were then 21 years and 216 days, I think the record says. You scored that mammoth 365. That's still a world record. But from 1954 to 1974, 20 years of cricket. Of course, the career is there for everybody to see. But do you think that 20 years has affected your personal development? Or on the other hand, would you say that your personal development has been cricket?
Yeah, well, how could it? I recalled my youth as a youngster starting out, and I was very much involved in sport in general. I played all kinds of sport and loved it tremendously. It was fortunate or unfortunate that cricket was the one that I took up, and I think that I took up cricket because cricket was one of the only sports that had given an outlet to a youngster who was coming up and has any kind of ability, and who came from a fairly poor family. And cricket, obviously, when you were a youngster and you hear of Everton Weekes and Clyde Walcott and the late Sir Frank Worrell in England playing cricket, league cricket, you start thinking, well, one day I would like to do that. And therefore you concentrated a lot more on cricket because you realized that you had that outlet where you can go to England and play in the league. And if you were successful, then you can travel around. So therefore, cricket was really the sport, and it was really part of my life.
It was your development.
Yes, it was. It certainly was, and I couldn't think of anything better at the time.
Look, you talk about looking and hearing about Clyde Walcott and Frank Worrell and Everton Weekes, but in fact, this is 1950, late 40s, the early 50s, not too far away from when you hit the scene. So you must have had a short space of time in which to concentrate all this and get all this beautiful cricket into motion.
Yeah, well, you see, as youngsters, my brothers and I, we used to keep scores when all the teams went abroad and they were playing, or even when teams came to Barbados. We used to sit in front of the radio with the exercise book, and we used to write every name down. We used to score every ball that was bowled over those years.
I bet you could still find some of those books knocking around.
I am sure that if we looked hard enough, we might find them. You know, and I think that our minds were very, very attached to cricket, because to sit down and not go outside to play and to just sit there and score in front of radio meant that we were that keen that we were even listening to the greats of those days playing, and we tried to perform. I remember we used to call teams Barbados or the West Indies versus Australia, and you had youngsters that were Sir Donald Bradman and Lindsay Hassett and Arthur Morris. I was Arthur Morris because he was a left-hander, or Neil Harvey. Although Everton Weekes was my idol, but he was a right-hander.
Just happened to be right-handed.
Yeah, you know, but in the team you had to use the player that bat like you, who was left-handed or who was right-handed. You know, and I used to be either Arthur Morris or Neil Harvey or Willie Watson from England. You know,
I wonder what would Willie Watson or Neil Harvey think. Here's this young man who's become great, saying that he patterned himself after me or called him. Harvey's head would probably grow, I would think.
Well, I don't really.
You've met Neil since then, several
Yes,
times.
I've met them all and played against them.
Have you ever told him that?
No, but I don't think it was a matter of patterning myself after them. I think it was just that because they were left-handers and they was in the Australian team and my team was called Australia,
You had to be that.
I had to be a left-hander, and I couldn't have been a right-hander because it'd be foolish. I'm saying I'm Everton Weekes and somebody passed and said, but Everton Weekes is a right-hander. You know, but Everton was certainly my idol, and if I had to pattern myself off of anybody, it would have been Everton.
And then between those years, talking about personal development, I don't believe that the idea of marriage would have ever crossed your mind?
Oh no, I don't think that many young West Indians, and plus I also had a future in the game, and therefore the cricket came first. Everything else came
and
second.
Too, I believe.
Well, first, second, everything else was minor, because I wanted to develop my game to the extent that where I would be a regular player in the West Indies team, and one could have only done that by concentrating on their cricket, which I did tremendously through those years. I live, eat, and breathe cricket.
Right.
You know, so therefore, marriage and that kind of thing was certainly out of my thoughts completely.
Doesn't matter because you've got two lovely boys now. Daniel and Matthew are here, and they're enjoying the occasion of your 50th birthday. Let's just look. Talking about cricket being number one and number two, there were other games, of course. You played table tennis to a very high extent, and you played soccer. I think I remember seeing you goalkeeper as well. That all went by the board.
Yes, well, I think that after my poets against Guyana when they came here, and a lot of the older Barbadians who thought that I would be better off playing cricket more so than soccer, because there was more future in cricket than there was in soccer in those days.
Of course, there was also the idea of trying not to get hurt.
Yes, well, I think this was one of the reasons, and they thought, well, it's foolish of me trying to play soccer, or even the selectors selecting me to play for Barbados, when they thought that I had such a great future as a cricketer, and I'll be more profitable to Barbados and the West Indies in the future as a cricketer, more so than a soccer player, because it's only, in the last 10 or 15 years that West Indians or people outside of England have had an opportunity of going into England and playing in the English League.
That's right.
When I was playing, this opportunity certainly wasn't there, as lots of other West Indians. I am sure that if the soccer league had opened up like the cricket league, that you would have probably find that the West Indies would have produced more footballers or more soccer players than cricketers. Because
it's just a matter of demand and supply, you're thinking.
Exactly, right. Because Everton, Frank, Clyde, and most Barbadians and West Indians had always liked football a little bit better than cricket. But as I said earlier, that cricket was the one that gave one the opportunity to travel and also to go abroad and to play and improve the standard of their game. And I think that was the reason why more West Indians stuck to cricket and given away soccer.
Now, sometime during this long cricket career, you had to, however, have a break from cricket and do something else. And it happened to be golf. I think about 1963 we would have heard that was the Ted Dexter tour. Dexter was the captain of England at the time. He made a lovely 70 that tour. And I think that's when you took up golf. I'm not sure, but I think so.
Yeah, well, I was always intrigued by Sani Ramadan, who used to play quite a lot of golf.
Is that right?
Even, yes. Sani started in Trinidad, I believe, as a caddy, like most of the boys in Barbados, how they started their golf. And I think he was a caddy first before he became a cricketer. And after he became a cricketer, he still continued with his golf. And Sani used to play a lot of golf, even on tours, and when he was back in England, on his off days and his off seasons. And for some time, Sani Ramadan was saying to me, Gary, I think you should take golf up. Why don't you come and have a game with me one day? And I keep saying to him, but Sani, that game is too slow. I really can't find anything in that game to like. Yeah. And he said, you'll be amazed. If you ever take it up, you'll see the difference. And it was during the 1960-61 series of Australia, that marvelous series we had out there.
The tight test and everything?
Yes, and the last game in Canberra against the Prime Minister 11, and Sani Ramadan turned to me and said, well, you're not playing, you're not doing anything, why don't you come now and have a game of golf? So I said, okay, Sani, you've been after me now for the last 10 years to come and play some golf with you. Okay, I will give it a try. And I went on for the first 2 swings, I missed the ball completely. And I thought, well, something's got to be wrong. You know, I'm so coordinated. I've played so many sports, and everything seemed to have come fairly natural to me. How come that I can't hit a little golf ball that is standing there looking at me? And I persisted with it, and eventually I hit the ball, and I started playing, and went back to England, and I started playing a bit of golf in England, and I started to begin to like the game.
And now you're good enough to play Horman Cup for Barbados. It's the only sport you're actually playing now.
Yes, and I enjoy it, and I think it's a lovely game. I think it's one of the best sports that I've ever played. When I retired from county cricket in 1974, that's when I really got a little bit more serious about golf, and I started to play it fairly often then. And I start really concentrating and find that later on I had been in the Barbados team, and I find that my golf started to improve tremendously because I really started thinking about it.
Let's look a little bit back at the records, and they're 365, the highest in Test matches still. You're the only person to have recorded 1,000 runs, 100 wickets, and 100 catches in Test cricket. And the 93 Test matches for West Indies, you had 85, I think it was, unbroken over the 20-year span, just between 54 and 73, I think. And then there was that break of a couple of Test matches when yourself and the selectors didn't see eye to eye on your fitness.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
I am.
Records, I don't know anything about records. You know, I don't even have a photograph of myself at home or anywhere playing a cricket match. But getting back to the question of
the 85 unbroken Test, when it 1973.
Yes.
72, 73.
Yes, well,
must have been a tough period.
I think it was about 87. I enjoyed the game. I always kept myself fit. There were times when I wasn't fit, and I wanted to have a break, and I was told that
duty calls.
That I needed that Gary Sobers with one hand or one foot was better than the others with two legs and two hands and everything else. And that brings me to your question of the 1970, 72, 73 series in the West Indies when Australia came down here. And I'll never forget that, because I remember Cecil Marley, who was president of the West Indies Cricket Board then, came to England to talk to the boys who were selected to come home to play for the West Indies during that period. And I had just had an operation, and I remember telling Mr. Marley that I will not accept the invitation to come home because I didn't think I was fit at the time. I would pay my passage home. I will come home, and if I am fit and I think that I am capable enough to play, fit enough to play, then I would let him know, which I did when I came home. I felt fairly fit, and I went to Kensington one day, and Clyde Walcott was there, and Clyde came to me and says, "Gary, we're selecting the West Indies captain for the series today." And I'd already given my thoughts to who I thought should have been captain. But then he said, "How are you feeling?" I said, "Well, I am feeling fairly fit. I think I'll be ready pretty soon." And he said, "Oh, well, I wish you luck, and I hope that you will be." And then later on, after the first Test match, Barbados was going to Trinidad, and the selectors asked me if I would like a game, and I felt fit enough then because I wanted to get back into cricket. I felt a bit out of it, you know, cricket playing, and I wasn't playing. I didn't feel right at all, and I thought, well, I got to make this effort to get back into the game, which I did. I made a very, very big effort. And the Barbados selectors asked me if I thought I was fit enough to play in Trinidad, and I said yes. And I went to Trinidad, and I played there, and I bowled quite a few overs. I didn't make many runs, but it was the test of my leg, not the test of my ability to make runs or get wickets. And I came off the field, and my leg had just swollen a little bit. And I'll never forget Jeffrey Stallmeyer coming into the dressing room. I think Jeffrey was the president then. He came into the dressing room. He said to me, "Gary, how you feeling?" I said, "Well, Jeff, I feel quite fit. My leg's a little bit swollen, but the doctor told me that will happen for quite a few months. As long as I run around on it, that it will come up. But not to worry about it, that's nothing serious." And he said to me then, "Are you going to play in Barbados against the Australians?" I said, "Not really. I think that a match like that is to give a youngster an opportunity and a chance to play so the selectors can see him and also give him that exposure to gain some experience." And I didn't see any reason why I should play. I didn't think that my reason for getting back into the West Indies team was going to be on form. Right. I thought it was going to be on fitness. And when Jeffrey Stallmeyer turned to me then in Trinidad and said, "Well, if you don't play in the Barbados game, well, you can consider yourself not being selected for the West Indies team." And I just had to tell him what I thought also. I can't repeat it on camera, but I felt very upset at the time. Yeah. And then
you still do?
Yes, well, not now, not really. I hold no malice or anything against anybody for that. But then I came home, and I was at Kensington during the Barbados game, and then Clyde Walcott came to me then and said, we are playing a game in St. Vincent, a two-day game, we would like you to go and play. Well, again, I just blew my top, because I couldn't understand what was going on. When I look back over the years at situations when I didn't want to play, and I was told that a man with
duty calls.
Yeah, and a man with one hand and one foot, that I was better. And here was I telling them now that I was fit, and they were there telling me now that
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Are you ready to turn it all the way up? We make you feel good. Your #1 party station. Non-stop hits and the latest trends in music, fashion, and everything lit. Hit us up on socials at 981 Barbados on IG and 98.1 The One on Facebook. This is your world, your playlist, your station. 98.1 The One.
Books open your heart, your mind, and your soul. They are educational, entertaining, inspiring, and motivating. Are you an author of a recent book you want to share? Then Mornin Barbados would love to feature your book in our The Next Chapter segment. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb. That's morning without the G. Come and let us turn those pages together.
Some ask, what makes Barbados so special? We at Mornin Barbados say it's you, our exceptional youth. You are talented, resilient, and inspirational. You are the epitome of the Barbadian spirit, testing the boundaries of your creativity. If you are an entrepreneur, artist, baker, designer, author, or have done anything you think should be highlighted, email us at morninbarbados@cbc.bb. Let us show the world our exceptional Bajan youth.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morning,
morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We took significant time today to reflect on the contribution of the man known as our national hero, the Right to Excellence Sir Garfield Sobers, ahead of the service of National Thanksgiving tomorrow, Wednesday, at Kensington Oval. On TV8, we will begin at 6 o'clock in the morning with tributes. We will be then going live at 7 o'clock, hosted by Julian Rogers, Josanne Leonard, Alison Leacock, assisted by Belle Holder, Cassandra Crawford, Barry Wilkinson, and Damien Best. So extensive coverage of tomorrow's service from 7 o'clock right through until his interment at Coral Ridge, right here on TV8. And you will listen on radio as well, as we bring you commentary there too. We want to remind you that this morning from 10 o'clock at Kensington Oval, there will be the opportunity for all Barbadians, those who have not yet done so, to file past his casket as it lies there in state at Kensington Oval today from 10 until early in the afternoon. So we want to encourage you as much as possible to do so. Also sign the Book of Condolence, which are at specific locations all across. Get your Admit One ticket right now from all post offices across the island so that you are a part of the crowd at Kensington Oval tomorrow. But if you cannot be there, then you watch it live right here on TV8 or listen to it on radio, Q100.7 FM, all the radio stations of the CBC. We've come to the end of today's show. I join with my crew in saying to all of you, have a terrific day today. Good day.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.